Hi, everyone, and welcome to Bench Talk, conversations about creativity, life, and the psychology behind why we build. While I'm talking, I'm going to be working on prepping my next project, which is going to be a nice scene somewhere in Germany with these resin German figures at rest. I can't remember where I got these from, but it's a nice little set. It has a bunch of German soldiers at rest, a couple of them sleeping, just chilling, smoking a cigarette, writing in a notepad, what have you. But I'm just prepping all this while I'm talking. So today I wanted to talk about why we like to model. And I'm sure the reasons for that for everybody are going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to guess that maybe some of them are the same as mine. So first I want to talk about how this art form, and I do believe it's an art form, not a hobby, really just helps our well-being because it supplies us with solitude. And why is solitude necessary? I would say that alone time and time where it's just like I am undistracted, I am focused on one thing. I'm not thinking about all of life, all of the pressures, all the things I have to do, the things I have to be, the people I have to be there for. The solitude is just rest for the soul, I would say. And that's just super necessary, especially in the high stress world that we live in, most of us live in. And some would say like, oh, you're isolating, or some might say that like, oh, it's bad because you're isolating, you're not connecting with anybody. It's like, well, I know myself, and I have a people battery, and I have a certain amount of time that I can stand peopling for one day. And after that battery is drained, I'm done peopling. And it's not that I hate people. I actually love people. I love people for a lot of reasons. I love all people, even the people that I don't agree with and I don't like. But I love them. That being said, I need time away from the humans. When I'm away from the humans, I can recharge, I can rest, I can be myself, I can gather my thoughts. And for some people, that just might be sitting in a dark room. Maybe for others, it's listening to music, and still others, it's watching Desperate Housewives or whatever reality TV show is on these days, Secret Millionaire or Traders or whatever. But for me, I also know myself in that I need to be doing something. And even though I'm doing something, that something allows my mind to do nothing. There's a saying in an old Star Wars book that I read. I've never really heard repeated anywhere else, but it was a great saying. And the saying goes, there is always solace to be found in a purely mechanical task. And so I would say that for myself, working on these models and dioramas in this art form and telling stories through plastic provides me solace and solitude to give me, my mind, my heart, my soul rest after dealing with the world every day. The second thing, and this is 100% factual and scientifically based, it is a benefit to your overall mental health, especially when it comes to trauma. There's actually a really cool study where they assigned trauma survivors, and I think this was done with survivors of natural disasters. They had them play Tetris after, and I can't remember how long after it was. They played Tetris, that it was after the traumatic incident. But basically, they had a significantly less likelihood to develop PTSD from that experience because they played Tetris. And so there's a whole long lesson there about the way trauma is encoded in the brain that I won't get into. But in layman's terms, mechanically, physically piecing things together allows our brain to do the same thing, but in its own little brain abstract type of way. So if you've ever been working on something like models and doing art, building something, a lot of people, it's something a little bit more mechanical, like woodworking or welding, or I don't know what else. Maybe just plain painting on canvas, drawing. You usually find that your mind starts wandering. And it's kind of like this free association practice. And while you're intensely focused on what you're doing, like I am right now, I'm trying to get this, whatever this is, flash or this screw piece off of this, whatever this, I don't even know what it is, but I'm intensely focused on it. You find yourself drifting into thoughts of conversations you had that day. What is something I want to work towards? What is a goal that I have? Am I loving the people the way that they should be loved? Or maybe something just a lot more trivial, like what is it that's making my car stereo not work correctly right now? Did I leave the turkey in the oven? Whatever it is. And for some reason, when our minds are focused and our hands are focused, our subconscious can start piecing those things together, piecing them into a narrative that makes sense. So usually when I'm done with a session or a night shift of modeling, I'll go out and talk to my wife, and I'll have some really positive things to say or some apologies or whatever. Like, hey, I really messed up earlier today. I wasn't as enthusiastic as I should have been about that raise you got or that job you got or whatever. Or I should have done this or I should have done that. Or I really appreciate you for that. Because I took a mental inventory of my character and my behavior while I was doing this. And I didn't even plan on doing that. It just happened. So in all those ways, these mechanical tasks, the modeling, the art, can help our mental health. And the last reason I'll talk about is pretty spiritual. And spirituality and God is not necessarily anything I plan to model my channel around or talk about all the time, but I definitely won't shy away from it whenever it's appropriate. And right now I feel it's appropriate because for me, I do believe in God. I am staunchly religious. If you ever want to talk about that, just put it in the comments or contact me somehow, and we can talk about that. But if I see this as a replication or an emulation of what my Creator has done with me. I'm taking these inanimate objects, these things that were just chemicals and plastic, and I'm putting work and love into them, and time and care and attention to turn them into something that not only tells a story, but evokes an emotion. And I can't help but think that if I look upon these little creations that I make with such love and adoration and such absolute enthusiasm, that must be a small percentage of how God looks down on me and looks down on us and looks down on you. And that really, really spiritually feeds me. So that's just my 2 cents on why I model. Let me know in the comments if maybe you have some of the same reasons, some different reasons. But I'd love to hear them. And take a second and subscribe to see more build videos and more bench talk.